It doesn't affect my inner circle. Well, I'm gonna do whatever I want to do for my family, which I feel is right. Um, so I just know that kids, man, are so impressionable, and I got somebody sent me some studies that they do on kids and stuff like that, and these experiments. Um, and I'm gonna just show the videos, let y'all see it, comment, and then you can go back and just think about it.
Babies this young are extremely responsive to the emotions and the reactivity and the social interaction that they get from the world around them. This is something that we started studying 30, 40 years ago, when
what you see and what these experts are saying, what
people didn't think that infants could engage in social interaction. In the still face experiment, what the mother did was she sits down and she's playing with her baby, who's about a year of age.
I'm like a girl. Oh.
And she gives a greeting to the baby gives a greeting back to her.
Yeah.
This baby starts pointing at different places in the world, and the mother's trying to engage her and play with her. They're working to coordinate their emotions and their intentions, what they want to do in the world. And that's really what the baby is used to. And
the stats and what's the data is telling you for yourself, because this is public information. There's no secrets, there's no conspiracy theories.
And then we ask the mother to not respond to the baby. The baby very quickly picks up on this. And then she uses all of her abilities to try and get the mother back. She smiles at the mother. She points because she's used to the mother looking where she points. The baby puts both hands up in front of her and says, "What's happening here?" She makes that screechy sound at the mother, like, "Come on, why aren't we doing this?" Even in this 2 minutes, when they don't get the normal reaction, they react with negative emotions, they turn away, they feel the stress of it. They actually may lose control of their posture because of the stress that they're experiencing.
This is actually life. This is truth.
Okay. I'm here. And what are you doing? Oh, yes. Oh, what a big girl.
It's a little like the good, the bad, and the ugly. The good is that normal stuff that goes on, that we all do with our kids. The bad is when something bad happens, but the infant can overcome it. After all, when you stop the still face, the mother and the baby start to play again. The ugly is when you don't give the child any chance to get back to the good. There's no reparation, and they're stuck in that really ugly situation.
And just even on the religious aspect, man, I'm finding out a lot of more things that's just coming to me.
Because I frankly don't know how to process this. Do y'all remember the Tuskegee syphilis experiments done on black men without informed consent starting in 1932? Okay, well, in the 1940s, one of the researchers who would eventually join the Tuskegee team, Dr. John Charles Cutler, was simultaneously using our tax dollars in U.S. government-funded STD experiments on orphan children in Guatemala. Children. Now, if you Google the story, you're going to find reports of the 1,500 or so prisoners, psychiatric patients, and sex workers who were deliberately infected with syphilis, gonorrhea, and chancroid. An even closer look, and you'll find this program intentionally chose contained populations, which included children living in orphanages, one of whom was Marta, now 74, who was 9 when she was not allowed to say no. Reportedly, for the men and boys, they would scrape the forearm or penis with a hypodermic needle just shy of drawing blood and place a cotton ball there containing syphilis for about 1 to 2 hours. Others were forced to be intimate with sex workers who were contagious. Now, the families of these victims have filed multiple lawsuits against the government and corporations involved, but the U.S. courts continue to dismiss the cases because the government has given itself and corporations immunity from liability for actions committed outside of the U.S. Make America great again where?
Like I say, I just look at my environment. Once I pray, I ask the Lord to show me a way, show me some signs.
Have y'all ever heard of the theory of general relativity? It's what Einstein is famous for. In his calculations, he started to realize that the universe was not eternal. It had a beginning. Now this leads us to the law of causality. Everything that came to be needs a cause. So Einstein clearly knew that if the universe had a beginning, it needed a cause. Let's go to the Big Bang Theory. There was no space, no time, and no matter before the Big Bang. The universe emerged out of nothingness. What does that mean? Since it's impossible for the universe to be able to create itself because it didn't exist in order to be able to create itself, nature and the universe itself was just a big effect that was caused by, what are we left with? An extremely powerful, extremely intelligent, precise, given the precision that our universe was created with, personal entity that is capable of existing outside of time, space, and matter. That can't be nothing but God. And for people that are like, okay, well, how do you know that it's like Christianity's God? There's only one God. But there's a very famous astronomer named Robert Jastrow. His credentials as a scientist are impeccable. Being agnostic, he's not even a Christian. He said that all of the essential elements of the Big Bang Theory line up with biblical creation. Because this is how God works. God speaks something, and then science runs to catch up with what he said. Science doesn't create anything. Science studies creation. Let me just answer a question that I always...
And everything comes to me. I don't really go out there searching and looking for it per se. It just comes to me naturally.
The gender identity is really taking over our schools. If you speak against what they're doing to our children in terms of gender identity, especially with like trans and non-binary, and if you don't address them in their correct pronoun, which is they, them, you are a bigot. You are homophobic and you're not doing what you're supposed to do. Now these kids, they are even younger now and they're taking advantage of that. And then they're also putting teachers in a position where if we don't acknowledge their chosen gender, we're now considered hateful bigots. And you could lose your job if you don't use the correct pronoun with students. In my district, there was a teacher that called home and used the new pronoun that was being used at the school and name of the child because they changed their gender and their pronoun. Called home, the parents didn't recognize who the child was because the child did not tell the parents that they had changed their... And so because of that, the parent was upset. So because of that, the district told the teachers to hide the pronouns and the gender change from the parents.
But I'm not blind to ignore it. So I just go off my feeling, man. I just feel like some of the messages you have to start speaking to people, you have to share it. Because like I told you before, man, I've been close to death so many times. I've been shot, hit by a car, stabbed. I can't even tell you some of the things I experienced overseas, but just say that life is short here. Myself personally, I believe in a heavenly plane, or I believe in souls and energy. And like I said, we got a whole lot of living to do. But I do think after we perish or leave this body, it's a whole different place that a lot of people may or may not go to. But that's a whole different story, man, which I touch base on the episode of religion, or my religion series that I'm going to have going in 2023. Getting into question comments, man. Like I say, I always post like a link to my guest interviewers or co-hosts and stuff like that. You got any topics you want to talk about, just, hey, fill that form out and we can see if we can connect in 2023. I got a lot of bodybuilders and fitness athletes who I'm going to be talking to also about just sharing their personal experience, their challenges that they have to overcome, some of them who was natural and some of them who was enhanced, and that journey going from them, and they're men and women. And so I feel like, because I coach men and women also, that some of the women need to hear these messages from these top professionals of the challenges that they had to go to and how these drugs or the route naturally affected them in their journey. So I know I just talked to Shanique Grant the other day, sent her a message, and I told her I'm going to probably do something on her, because she was amazing, one of the youngest athletes to win, I think, figure. And she retired early just because of the pressure and the message that she probably just wanted to get more healthy. And she went through a lot at a young age, but her talent was undeniable. And she could probably be one of the greatest female athletes in the world if she wanted to keep competing and stuff like that. But she retired after just winning two. I think she lost one for a condition, but she was concerned about the health and stuff like that. So that's a whole different story. I'd do something on her. But I always reach out to them. Sid Gilly, y'all know she's just won 6 times champ. I see her in the gym, talk to her all the time. My guy, 212 champ. My brain is dead, but I got just a lot of people we got to be talking to, and the Giant Killer, like I said, he does want his other show, got his first kid on the way. So his coach had passed before that. So I do reach out to a lot of these athletes, even though I'm behind the scenes. You know, I make my own products, stuff like that. So just going off of that dynamic, when I get videos on this health industry or these products, like somebody just sent me about ramen noodles.
Have you ever eaten ramen noodles? Exactly. Here's the deal. New research from the Mayo Clinic is showing that it can increase the risk for metabolic syndrome, especially for women. And that can mean increased risk for heart problems, stroke, and diabetes. But researchers say it's not just ramen. Any instant noodle products could be putting you in danger if you're eating them more than twice a week. So why are women affected the most? Probably because of BPA that's found in the packaging, which is known to mess with those estrogen levels. And a look at what exactly happens once ramen noodles make it into your stomach. And it's all thanks to a camera swallowed like a pill. You can see the stomach contracting back and forth, trying to grind up those noodles.
Striking thing about our experiment, when you looked at a time interval, 1 hour or 2 hours, we noticed that processed ramen noodles were less broken down than homemade ramen noodle.
And take a closer look. You can clearly see the difference between 20 minutes and 2 hours of digestion.
And everybody, you know, where I come from, we used to eat those noodles, and you know, they 10 for $1 or whatever the case may be. That the stats and the data just came out, and this is on the news. If you ate 2 packs of those, just the chemicals in there, they don't recommend eating more than 2 because it causes cancer, heart problems, other conditions in your health that deteriorate your health. And that's just after eating 2 packs in a week. So imagine how many of those noodles that you eat, and there's any instant noodles. So it's not just the ramen noodles. They saying the data is speaking on any instant noodles. If you eat more than 2 packs of those in a week, it's detrimental to your health. Another lady, her name was Dr. So-and-so. I got a video just came to me, and I'm going to end up posting and sharing. I talk about that also. That's about microwave popcorn. And if you know anything about microwave popcorn, the butter on there is not real. It might say artificial butter and stuff like that. But once you heat that butter up in the microwave, that it turns into a cancerous property, which deteriorates your body, your stomach, all kind of other stuff, man. But I'm going to post a video to let y'all see.
The other thing that you should absolutely never, ever, ever eat is microwave popcorn. Microwave popcorn is the devil for a lot of different reasons, right? But the problem with microwave popping corn is the lining of the bag. Okay, so first of all, they're lining the bag with like PFOAs. Now, this is like perfluoroacetic acid. And the problem with this is that it is considered to be a carcinogen, but it's linked to cancer, it's linked to infertility issues in lab animals once it's heated up. So the interesting thing is, if it's linked to all these issues in lab animals when you heat it up, and now all we're really doing is heating it up. You can't eat microwave popcorn without heating it up. Now we've got a hot mess of a problem. Now the other thing is, there's something in a lot of microwave popcorn, when you see on the side of the bag where it says artificial flavor or butter flavoring or butter flavored, right? They're not using real butter here. What they're actually using is something called TBHQ and diacetyl butter flavoring, right? You can barely even say the words, but it usually says artificial flavoring, so on and so forth. The problem with it is that it's linked to brain inflammation. It's linked to different forms of dementia.
And then tell me what you think about that. And I'll probably post one of these up there so you can see the cover, how it's going to look, or you can recognize it. But it's going to be a whole lot of stuff that's going to blow your mind coming out in 2023. But I think we need to get serious about our health. We want to be here. We want to be healthy. We want to not ache, you know, getting up, grunting when you're standing up, getting up out the bed, you got to roll over, you wake up, you sitting there 20, 30 minutes, wasting time. It's not worth it because it's a better way. You deserve it. I deserve it. We all deserve it. Your kids deserve it. You just got to find a way to help you get through it, man. Like I said, this is a challenging time. I know you don't think, a lot of people, or you might just don't understand how important health and nutrition and fitness is to your daily lifestyle, to your family lifestyle, to even you going out to work and job, you know, working for other people. That affects your energy, your mood, everything. It's still, if whatever you put in your body, it makes you feel a certain way. So if you are uneducated about the foods and stuff like that you're getting in you, and you having doctor's bills, you got to go to the doctor, you don't know what's going on, you don't know why your blood pressure is shooting up, your cholesterol is shooting up and stuff like that, just ask me a question. Fill out a questionnaire, whatever the case may be. Reach out to me, comment, hey, I'm going through this and that. Send me a private message, like I said, on Instagram at Cutnice50. Subscribe to the Cutnice50 on Instagram and send me private messages and just check in with me weekly. I mean, or a couple of times a week. It doesn't even matter, man. If you're going through stuff and you need some help, there's plenty of people out there. You can do your own research. Like I said, I study because this is what I do. This is what I love to do. I do this every day. It's not, like I said, this is a 7-day, 365 days. This is what I do. I'm studying, I'm researching, I'm learning more and more, educating myself so I can help others on their own journey. But this is the battle we're going to fight until we leave this earth. And that's just point blank. So I want to leave it as strong as I can. I can't prevent unknown stuff from happening, but I can try to do my best while I'm here. And that's what business life, you know, I'm the type of person, how I was raised. Anything I do, I want to be great at it. I want to succeed. I can't half do it. That's when it comes to relationships, parenthood. If I want to do it, I want to do it to the best of my knowledge, you know. So I have to take those steps to educate myself and to prepare so I can be ready to answer anybody else or help others on their own journey. You know, I reach out to a lot of these trainers and fitness influencers and stuff like that, and I try to tell them of some of the dangers out there also, or some of the predators that look for young athletes and stuff like that, or to spread the wrong message or information. Because now you see it's going to what they call it, hoochie daddy shorts, or you see women working out in bikinis and stuff like that. And I come from an era, if you educated, you know what you're doing about working out and stuff like that, you don't need the sex part to sell. You just need to show what you're doing, talk about it, and you can also help give the tips and stuff like that. Now, I'm going to watch your videos regardless. I don't need to see half naked, this and that. They're thrown in your face all the day. But thinking about social media, if you don't post that way or whatever, you're not going to get the likes, followers, and stuff like that. I don't do what I want to do for the likes, followers, or none of that. You know, I do because this is what I'm meant to do. I love doing it. So I can care less about that. So, but you know, young people, it is a business for them. They make money off of it, and they get more views and reels, and the social media is going to push you out there more. But I'm in this spot or point in my life that I know who I am as a person. I'm secure in myself. I have the education behind me. I have the knowledge behind me that I don't have to do none of that. So it just takes people to a certain point to get on that level to understand what they're meant on this earth to do.
Instagram was fun until they started running ads. And so because you could go viral, you could wind up with 1 million followers in a day. It doesn't work that way anymore. That's because Instagram and Facebook are built around advertising. Why would Instagram let you reach 1 million people when they charge people to reach 1 million people? So they can't do that. If you go to your iPhone right now and try to boost your post on Instagram, it'll take you $10,000 to reach the minimum of 1 million people. And you may or may not reach those people. But if you got 20 million followers, you think that every time you post a photo, Instagram is going to send that to 20 million people? If you could do that every single time, once video gets involved, now you're a network. 18 million people watch Sunday Night Football. NBC charges $860,000 for a 30-second spot. So if you could post a video on Instagram and it reached 18 million people, you you could charge $860,000 every time you did that. The brands would come and pay you and not pay Instagram. So for that reason, they have to limit the amount of people that see your content so they can make money. You still get engagement, but it's about 3 to 4% of your following.
But like I said, man, with that being said, I just want to hop on here and say Happy New Year. Let's go ahead and start investing in ourselves. This is day one for me. I'm fasting today. I'm getting back to my roots, my spiritual roots. I'm working on my physical, mental, and personal growth this year. So it won't be, I'm dropping. I'm probably currently at 250. I'm going to drop a quick 20, 30 pounds to get to my stage weight to see what I'm competing at, around 220. So I won't be eating no processed foods. I'll be cooking and preparing my own meals. There's no ordering out, daily prayer, exercising when I can, at least 4 to 5 times a week. And I do everything, at least 7 days a week. I'm still active, but it's not like I'm in a gym always. So I'm going to be, do whatever. I'm going to be on this kind of game plan. It's not really a diet per se, because I'm preparing and cooking my own foods. I'm drinking my water, but I'm going to be doing this and staying healthy. No cheat meals, no junk, no processed food, at least until I lose that 20 or 30 pounds, whatever I decide to do. And I'm going to feel better. So with that being said, hopefully you design a goal that you want to do, you want to achieve. And if you need help, just reach out, man. Happy New Year, y'all. I look forward to this journey. I appreciate you taking the time to support your boy. And if you have any questions, just shoot me up. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow people. Hey, 2023, it's time to invest in yourself. Let's go.